Hey everyone, Shadow Speedy here, or at least I'm here until behaviors assassins get to me. I just wanted to kind of leak this information, I guess, of a new patch that's going to be coming out on DBD. It's not been released or anything like that. A lot of this is still kind of all internal, so it may look a little bit weird. Everything's not completely final on it yet, so I just want to preference that. But I was able to get some of this information of one of the new patches that is going to be coming out. And it's kind of in the vein of like the big uh, perk shakeup that happened a while back when they changed Dead Heart and all that. Uh, but this one's like even bigger. Like it's going to change DPD as we know it. Uh, so I just wanted to kind of run over the patch notes that we're going to come out with it. Again, still a lot of this is a little bit TBD. There might be some issues and errors in spelling and whatnot in it. But like I said, this is super secret, hasn't been leaked out or anything like that. I'm giving you the first information on it. So you can see here we got the 9.0.0 PTB patch notes. You have the starting stuff of letting you know when the uh, servers are gonna kind of take the snapshot of what you have. That nothing's gonna transfer over. That they're gonna give you the ARC cells to purchase skins and whatnot to test all that out. But we'll get into kind of the meat and the bones here, and this is the rework part. So, after collecting years of data, we have found a trend where the more strong perks that are in the trial, the less fun that's had. And when there's weaker perks, the more fun is had. See below for a totally real and valid graph, which, I mean, this graph makes complete sense, right? You can see the weaker perks and the fun kind of all kind of go up together. When you have strong perks, fun low. We've seen firsthand with the Chaos Shuffler game mode that people have tears of joy when they get no mither, and absolutely not tears of pain and suffering. When everyone brings weaker perks, everyone has much more enjoyable games working with this idea. The entity is here. Uh, Working with the idea, the entity is here to watch others suffer, to give both sides power ups in the form of perks doesn't seem to line up. So we have changed the perks from something that will help you in the trial to something that will hinder you in the trial. So it seems like here that's they are going to try to make perks not perks. Let's take a look at the perks here and see kind of what they're doing. Nice. So starting a survivor, balanced landing. After falling from a height, become exhausted for 40 seconds. While exhausted, you are unable to run. Oh, so I guess it is kind of they're making perks a hindrance rather than something that helps you. So I'm wondering if they're forcing you to then run perks. Interesting. Let's go read this again. After falling from a height, become exhausted for 40 seconds. While exhausted, you're unable to run. Interesting. So you'll want to avoid like maps that have multiple levels and stuff like that. Okay. That'll be interesting. Boon Circle Healing. You are unable to heal until a boon is created. You are unable to heal inside the boon. Interesting. I guess that would make it one make the killer go and disable these boons. I guess would be because if you disable the boon, they can't heal anymore until they do up another boon, and then they can only heal but outside the boon radius, which could also help killers. Like they could see like, okay, this boon is here. Like if they figure out where the boon is and then someone heals up, you know they're not in that area. Interesting. Makes some for some interesting counterplay and stuff. Boon Dark Theory. You are unable to run until the boon is created. You're unable to run in the boon. Okay, so kind of similar to Circle of Healing, but for running. That I feel is going to be a really difficult perk to run. No pun intended, but not being able to run, finding a totem, booning it, and then not being able to run again until you're outside of it, like you're not gonna have much of an area that you can actually like run around in. That's interesting. Breakout, you are unable to be within 6 meters of a survivor that is picked up. So I guess this would prevent you from being able to take protection hits and stuff like that. But honestly, it's not a horrible one to run, I guess. Yeah, like you could probably make that one work. Yeah, yeah, that's probably the best one to be running right now. This could probably be the meta perk. Next one's Lithe. Performing a rushed causes an exhaustion status, probably rush vault. For 40 seconds. While exhausted, you're unable to run. Okay. So I guess that would make windows and pallets like you can't use them anymore. So that one can be pretty detrimental. Like you're going to be relying a lot on dropping pallets and just trying to find places you can just run around. W keying a lot. Plunderer's Instinct. The entity blocks all chests for you. Honestly, like normally you don't really use chests. Chests are really weak as it is. So honestly, that's probably not a bad perk to run. That's gonna probably be a pretty meta perk. Potential energy. After repairing a generator for a total of 8 seconds, the generator will charge potential energy. Instead of progressing the generator, converts 1.5% gen progress into one token, a maximum of 20 tokens. Potential energy loses all tokens and deactivates upon losing a health state. Oh. So it's essentially the same as potential energy now, except you can't choose when you use it and when you can't, like when you can start using it to absorb the gen progress. It just starts doing as soon as you've done 8 seconds worth of gen. And then you have to get the 20 tokens before you can actually start progressing the gen again. And then you can start progressing the gen again. But if you get hit, you have to redo those 20 tokens again to then start the whole progress over again. So it's essentially delaying you from doing gens for a little bit, and then if you get hit, it's going to be delaying it again. That's actually a really interesting one. That'd be interesting to run. Prove thyself. The entity blocks all other sides of the generator you are working on. Okay, so it's the opposite of prove thyself. Instead of getting faster when you have friends around, you forcibly push everyone off the gen that you're working on. Clever. Quick and quiet. You are unable to fast vault windows or lockers. I mean, running that with Lithe, because that would kill Lithe. That's like a more, I guess, for the killer side, more powerful version of Lithe. Because at least Lithe, you can still vault them, but you're just going to be walking for a while. Where quick and quiet, just you can't do it. Tenacity, you're unable to crawl once down. So it's opposite of what tenacity does now, where before you go faster. Now you just can't crawl at all. So forcing you to heal yourself if you get downed. Unbreakable, you are unable to heal while down. Opposite of regular unbreakable. You're just gonna have to be. You're gonna be moving all around if you're using unbreakable. Urban evasion, you are unable to crouch. Okay, so prevents urban invaders. Will make it. You are unable to heal for 90 seconds after rescuing a survivor off hook. Okay. It's the opposite of will make it, where you get the boost. You don't get it at all. That's interesting. Okay. Let's go on the killers here. Bamboozle, you're unable to vault windows. Okay, I mean that probably makes sense there. It's just the opposite of what Bamboozle does, where it blocks windows for survivors. It's essentially it's blocked for you. Bloodborne, once the exit gates open, the entity blocks all the hooks. Okay, so I guess once the exit gates are open, if you're running that, it turns into a slug game. And if you do down someone and they're close to the exit gate, you're gonna probably have to juggle them. Picking them up, taking them far away, and then dropping them far away. That's interesting. Brutal strength, you are unable to break pallets or breakable walls. So you could get put to jail in the game. Midwich is another place you could get put in jail. Like if they drop both pallets on either side of those places, like you wouldn't be able to get out, right? Interesting. I'm pretty sure there's other maps that you could trap a killer in, like where they'd be forced to drop, where they're forced to break the pallet if you drop both of them. As I continue on here, darkness revealed, you're unable to open lockers. Okay. That's probably. Oh, but if they see, there's a lot of mind games at this here. Because if the survivors know you have darkness revealed, as soon as you go to chase someone, you just jump in the locker, and then they can't look in the locker to get you. Oh, that if they don't know you have darkness revealed, that'd be a good perk to have. But if as soon as the survivors know you have, it's like when you're playing Tombstone Myers, everyone's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hide in these lockers. Interesting. Okay. Deer Stalker, you immediately pick up a survivor after you down them. I guess if you have a bully squad with flashlights, that might be annoying. But it might also throw off their timing as well, so that might not be the worst perk in the world. Hex Devour Hope. You are unable to go further away than 24 meters of a survivor on the hook. This perk creates a hex that the killer can find and remove. Interesting. So killers are now the one that can go and remove hexes, not the survivors. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so Hex Undying. I think that's the exact same as what Hex Undying is right now. It just takes the place of removed Hex, which is fair. It's gonna add a second Devour Hope, so you're gonna have to find two of them. Hex, no one escapes death. Once all the gens are complete, this hex activates. You are unable to use basic attacks. This perk creates a hex that the killer can find and remove. Okay. So you probably want to run this with someone like Huntress, Wesker, Bubba, someone who has an M2 that can do damage and down people. Or you can just get rid of the hex. Either or. Uh, Hubris grants a survivor that stuns you invincibility for 20 seconds. Interesting. So if you get stunned, like, kind of gotta let that person go on their merry way. Lightborn, you are unable to look up or down. So you'll be very susceptible to flashlights and flashbangs of that. Interesting. Okay. Magret, you are unable to attack while carrying survivors. So just take protection hits while they're running Magret. Okay. Play with your food. In chase, your obsession and all other survivors. Sorry. Once in chase with your obsession, all other survivors are invincible until you down the obsession. Okay, so you don't want to get in the chase with your obsession unless you're like, I'm coming for you and I'm going to down you. Because you can't down anyone until you down them. That could be very dangerous. Yeah, I can see that being very dangerous. Pop goes the weasel. You are unable to kick generators for 45 seconds after hooking a survivor. Okay, that's interesting. So you won't be able to slow down gens after you hook someone. Okay. Score trick monstrous shrine. 4 basement hooks and 4 other random hooks will be blocked by the entity. So greatly reducing the amount of hooks you have, as well as removing the basement hooks, which are your safe hooks. So that's another interesting one. Shatter Hope, you are unable to snuff boons. Again, Shattered Hope probably being as useful as Shattered Hope normally is, to be honest. No issues. Nothing. This game is flawless with no bugs. Yep, that's sounds about right. Yeah, and that's all they have here. So I think from my understanding here is that they're slowly going to be running more perks in. They're just wanting to test like a handful at first, and then as uh, more patches come through, they'll keep adding more and more of the perks back in. They just didn't want to do kind of like an overload of like every single perk has been changed and just having like a million perks to go through. They wanted to keep the pool a little bit small to start with, I think is my understanding of what they were doing. I don't know. What's everyone's thought? Is everyone excited for the new DBD here with this complete rework? Let me know. I'd also like to hear from from everyone else. Let me know in the comments what you think. Tell your friends, family, content creators. Uh, let them know of this leak and let me know what their thoughts are and stuff. Uh, I'd love to see kind of what everyone's thoughts on all this would be. So again, thank you everyone so much for watching, and hopefully this video stays up. I'm pretty sure as soon as Behavior sees this, they're gonna probably take it down. But I really do appreciate it, and what was that?